Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today things. Today in this video is we are gonna see about C sharp constructors. So all about constructors, like how we have to use constructor, why we use constructor, how we have to make use of that while you're coding, like we are going to see in this video. So basically, constructor is a special method we can call it as because generally a class we have some fields and methods, right? So this is a special method that is used to initialize objects like if you no need to call this particular method which is have some specialities like special method as we are saying. So it will be used when you initialize an object, whenever you have initialized one object or like whenever you have created one object. By default that particular constructor method will got executed. Like advantage of this constructor is that when it is called when an object of a class is created. So whenever you are creating any object of a class, like you instance of a class object is created, so at that time this particular method will be called. So it can be used to set initial values for the fields, or if you want to do any operation by default, then we can set that particular code in a constructor, so that constructor no need to call, but whenever the object is created it will defaultly got executed likewise. So see this example to understand better. Like here some car class is there, we have some model field, next we have one class. So here we have one class named method. So see here this is a method which is present in the class car, but the name of the method itself is a car. So same class method and method name is same, then we call that is a special method, or that is called as a constructor. So this is a class constructor for the car class. So this car class is a constructor. So constructor is nothing but a method which is having the same name as a class. So same class name and method name is same, then that is a constructor of a class. So that can be called or executed whenever the object or instance is created for this class car. So object is created for this class, then this particular method will got executed. Basically the default steps which you are going to execute we will write here in the constructor. Here we are setting initial value for the model. So here we are not setting any value. So I want to set or use that particular variable space, or to add the value to that variable whenever the object is created. If the object is not created, then the space which you are using for this particular variable field will got wasted, right? So whenever you creating an object, your constructor will get called or invoked. So at that time you can assign values so that we can use that thing. So basically constructor will be used to set initial values for the fields. So if fields is nothing but variables, right? We call that as the fields in C sharp. So this is to set initial value for the model as Mustang. I have set like that. So next we have our main method. So main method in which we are creating an object for this car class. So that time this model, so this whenever you are creating an object, the car class, this will call the constructor. So car class is called, and then whenever created a object, the constructor will got executed, so that the value Mustang will be stored in this model property or field. So then we can print that value or access that value, so that you will get an output there. So if you try to get the value of the same before creating that whatever instance or object of that class, then you are not going to get an output. See, first I have written here, you will get space, empty space, and then this value as a second time you will get value. So after creating this object only, it will assign the value for this model. Until then it will not having any value in that particular sorry particular field here. Even we have not created Ford model, then how you can access that particular kind of Ford? So it will throw an error, because local variable Ford cannot be a declared kind of thing. So this is all about having a constructor, how to use that. So basically constructor is to set the initial values for the fields which are present in that particular class. So note that the constructor name should match with the class name. So you should have to follow this one the rule that a constructor should have the name the same as a class name. Otherwise it will consider that as the other type of method, but not it as a constructor. So it cannot have any return type also. So it should not have it cannot have any have a return type like void or int. Likewise it should not have any return type. So it should have normal operations only, like maybe
assigning values for the models likewise only, should not have any return type. Also note that the constructor is called when the object is created. If you want to perform add values, you have to remember that your particular constructor will be called only after creating an instance or object for that particular class. All the classes has constructor by default. If you do not create a class constructor yourself, C sharp creates for you. However, then you are able to set initial values for your field. So for all the classes by default it will give the constructor. So C sharp will give if you don't create a constructor yourself, in C sharp will create for you. However, you have to able to set the initial values for the fields like that only. So constructor save time, that will took it a last example of this page really understands why. So let's see the last example so that you will understand. So see, first of all, constructor parameters. So constructors not only a normal constructor, we can also have a parameterized constructors. Like you can pass any value like parameters to that. So see, the following example here. Constructors also take parameters which can be used to initialize fields. If you want to set value, whatever the you are passing there. So here, what we are setting, we are setting direct value here, right? So Mustang here for the field we are directly assigning. But what if I want to get customized model name there, so that you can pass that name here while you are creating a instance for that, so that name will come here, so that that value will be assigned for this field model. So that what we are doing here in this example. We are passing one string model name for this constructor. Constructor is nothing but a method which is having the same class name and not having any return type. So that is the definition of a constructor. So car string and model name which you are passing, that name we are going to assign in this a car field, that is model. So the name which you are passing, that can be you have to pass while creating an object. So car, Ford, and new car. So normally some normal brackets will be there for the normal for normal instantiation of an object or creating an object. But here we have to pass parameter also while creating after new keyword whenever you give the class name. So here the object, so method which is having a return which is having a argument like, so argument value we have to pass, so that will go to this parameter, so that it will assign to this model field there. So if you are able to access that model field, whatever the past value will comes as an output. If I pass here as an other thing, then that value will gonna feed there. So if I pass here as a Ford, so Ford dot model will get Ford value. So whatever the value which we are passing, that will go to this model, and so that you will get values there. So this is all about parameters, constructor parameters. You can pass parameters for the constructor also. Not only single parameter, but you can pass multiple parameters, like maybe two or three more multiple parameters also you can pass here. Model name and also model color and also model number. Three values I'm passing and three fields are there. We are assigning the values passing to that particular constructor as in values of the fields which are present in that class. So three values you can mention, but the order of these arguments and parameters should match. If there is a mismatch in there, it will get confused like which parameter having the which value. And data types also should have to match. String, both the first two are string type and next is an integer type. So you have to pass values like this. After new keyword, you have to give name of the constructor, and then the values which you are passing you have to mention. So once the values are getting into this model, you can just directly get the values dot by using dot convention, by using this object type for dot color and for dot year and for dot model. Here I'm using in a string format. So red 1969 mistakes here getting three values. You can try each and every example which you are going through, and you can edit that and change and see what are the different scenarios we are getting. So that thing also you can write console.readline to get individual separate lines. So you can here they have added like a string type. They are appending all these strings in the single line, so that you will getting output in the single line. This is all about constructors with the parameters and multiple parameters also we have seen. Just like other methods, constructor can be overloaded by using different number of parameters. So we have seen a method overloading, right? For in the case of methods, so here constructor is also by default a method, right? So that can also be overridden by having two different parameter different kinds of parameters. So constructors save time, as I said in the previously, like that thing you can see this last example. Here is the example. So when you consider the example from the previous chapter, you will notice that the constructors are very useful as they help reducing the amount of code. So let's see without constructor how, and with constructor what's happening actually. So let's see. So see, without constructor how it is, it is like this. For you will have a main method, and you will have to create an object for different classes, and you have to assign a value, so like this. So with constructor what you can do is, here you can see this example. So we have to just create a constructor, and you can pass these three values, so that that go and store to that model and assign that value. You can directly fetch those values. So after creating an object, if you have assigned these values to that fields, you can do. But here see some code reusability we can see. So same code is like repeating. So when it comes with constructor, you can just pass those values while having that object creation only. So that will call that constructor, and then it will assign property values, and we can able to access that after the next step only. So this is what we can do with constructor. How the code without constructor is lengthy, with constructor is very easy, and automatically it will assign that what are the passed values to that models fields, so that you can make use of them. So you can see this example. So this is what we are doing without constructor, and with constructor how it is can be done. As I said in the previous example, as I told you, right? So not only these things, we can also have pass values. This is all about constructors. So overloading also we can do. I will show you that example also, overloading. For example, three parameters are passing, then it will happen. You can also have two parameters at same constructor with the one parameter likewise. That is called overloading of constructor also, that we can do by differentiating the parameters or parameter types likewise. This is all about constructors. Hope you have understood like how it is saving time. So without constructor how we have a few lines of codes, and with constructor the how the code is reduced lines of code. So this is all about constructor. Hope you have understood. If you have any doubts regarding to constructors, you can feel free to comment in the comment section. We'll definitely reply to your comments. And in the upcoming video, you're gonna see about access modifiers and properties inheritance and polymorphism, which are main concepts in OOPS concept. You should understand those things to code better in the C sharp. So hope you have enjoyed this video. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up below, and share this videos to your friends and colleagues who are at learning stage of web development things. And go through my playlist. There are so many other playlists also related to HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SQL, Java, all these things related to. Share these videos with your friends, so that they will also get benefited. And that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel for many more videos like this.